And I'm really excited. But as I've gotten a little bit older, I sort of want to. Really, I'm lucky that I get to work in this industry, and particularly incredibly fortunate that I get to work in it this long.
Y'all, let me tell you, the tea today is piping hot. We're talking scalding levels of drama that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about Hollywood's golden couple. That's right, we've got Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in the spotlight. And this story, it's juicier than a freshly squeezed mimosa on a Sunday brunch. Now, Blake Lively, Hollywood's ultimate darling, queen of red carpet fashion, and Ryan Reynolds' much better half, the two of them are basically couple goals for everyone with an Instagram account. And Justin Baldoni, sweet, sensitive, and known for making us cry like babies during Jane the Virgin. Seriously, this guy can bring on the waterworks like nobody's business. You'd think their collaboration on the movie It Ends With Us would be a match made in Hollywood heaven, right? Wrong. This drama, honey, is messier than a toddler with a finger painting kid. We're talking full-on Hollywood meltdown vibes. So grab your popcorn, maybe pour yourself a drink, because we are unpacking this whole wild situation. All right, let's set the scene here. Blake Lively, as we know, is the queen of effortless glam. She's the girl next door, only if your next door is like a multi-million-dollar mansion and the girl is married to Ryan Reynolds, aka everyone's favorite snarky superhero. I mean, can you even imagine the banter between those two? Their dinner conversations probably feel like watching live stand-up comedy. Blake's public image is pristine. She's always cool, calm, and collected. Basically the person you wish you could be, but probably aren't, because real life is not a Pinterest board. And then there's Justin Baldoni, Mr. Nice Guy with a heart of gold. He's got this whole inspirational thing going on, right? If you follow him on social media, you know he's always dropping motivational quotes and spreading positive vibes like confetti.
Well, I love romance. I'm a hopeless romantic. Romance is like everywhere in my life, but I had never read a romance novel, and I didn't understand why. And I'm sure a part of that has to do with my unconscious subscription to the man box, and I shouldn't, that's not manly. But I read this novel and I couldn't even finish it.
He's got that I care about the world energy, and it's honestly pretty refreshing in a town that can feel as shallow as a kiddie pool. But behind the scenes of It Ends With Us, things apparently aren't all rainbows and heart emojis. Because honey, once these two teamed up for the movie adaptation of It Ends With Us, based on the beloved Colleen Hoover novel, let's just say things went from Hollywood magic to Hollywood disaster real fast. And trust me, it's the kind of drama that makes you want to check your phone every 5 minutes for updates. So here's where it starts getting juicy. Word on the street is that It Ends With Us was supposed to be this major, heart-wrenching masterpiece. Fans of the book were already lining up emotionally ready to cry into their popcorn over this epic adaptation. Blake was cast as the lead and everyone was hyped. I mean, she's the perfect fit for this role, right? But honey, things didn't go as planned. Behind the scenes, things were falling apart faster than a reality TV show marriage. Sources close to the set, and y'all know there are always sources, are saying that the tension between Blake and Justin was next level awkward. We're talking about passive-aggressive emails, icy stares, and constant creative clashes. You could probably cut the tension with a butter knife if you dared to get that close. Apparently, Justin was super laser focused on every single detail. He's known for being methodical, sure, but this time, it went way beyond that. He was dissecting every little thing about the script and making changes like it was a rough draft of his diary. Meanwhile, Blake, who's no stranger to holding her own in a male-dominated industry, wasn't having any of it. Sources are saying she thought she understood the character better than anyone else, and frankly, she wasn't about to be steamrolled by Justin's microscopic directing style. Here's where it really gets messy. Both Blake and Justin were basically locked in a battle of wills. On the one hand, you've got Justin, who thinks he knows exactly how to tell this story, like every nuance of it. On the other, there's Blake, Hollywood royalty, who felt like her understanding of the character was being completely dismissed.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. Like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I didn't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, okay, think of someone.
Right.
Bob Newhart, I don't know.
And let's be real, Blake's been around long enough to know what works and what doesn't. The girl isn't just a pretty face in couture gowns, she's got serious acting chops. Apparently the whole issue boiled down to creative control. According to some insiders, who are clearly having a field day spilling this tea, Blake wasn't happy with how Justin was handling certain emotional beats of the movie. She felt like her voice wasn't being heard. And Justin, he wasn't about to back down. What's worse is that this wasn't just one or two disagreements. Oh, no, we're talking constant rewrites, massive script overhauls, and tension so thick you could serve it on a platter at a Hollywood dinner party. And y'all, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, bam, Blake allegedly starts strategizing. I mean, it's giving 4D chess vibes, and honestly, I'm living for it. So here's where things really start getting interesting, because according to rumors, Blake wasn't just quietly sitting back while all this drama unfolded. Oh no, she was allegedly pulling some major strings behind the scenes. You know how in chess, there's always that one player who's like 5 moves ahead of everyone else? Well, that player might just be Blake Lively. Word is she wasn't just pushing back against Justin's creative decisions, she was reportedly hinting at leveraging her husband Ryan Reynolds' industry connections to get things done her way. I mean, if you had Ryan Reynolds on speed dial, wouldn't you? But that's not all. Alleged text messages suggest that Blake was carefully crafting this whole narrative that positioned her as the misunderstood artist in all of this. It's giving strategic mastermind. And honestly, the internet is living for it. Fans on Twitter, oh, they had thoughts. Some people were like, "You go, Blake, stand your ground, girl," while others were calling her out for playing the victim card. And Ryan, he's out here tweeting memes and acting like nothing's going on. But we all know better, right? Because Hollywood loves its drama, and where there's smoke, there's usually a dumpster fire. Let's talk about the social media frenzy that erupted when all of this started leaking. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everyone had an opinion and no one was holding back. I'm talking about full-on Twitter threads, Instagram comment wars, and TikTok videos dissecting every possible angle of this drama.
I was like making like, I don't know, juice with like, there was this like maple water on set and I was like, oh, water tapped from a maple tree. This is exciting. But instead of just like handing him a plastic red cup that I was drinking out of, I like went and got the martini glass, a crystal glass, and like shook it up for him properly because you can't hand that man a red cup.
No.
Like, and so he's like standing on a dock with like mud around and he's holding a crystal martini glass. It was just juice and maple water.
One person on Twitter even said Blake looked like she was about to run a marathon just to get away from Justin on set. And honestly, they're not wrong. It's giving get me out of here energy for sure. Some fans were totally siding with Blake, saying she deserved creative control and that Justin was being way too controlling. Others, well, they were more Team Justin, saying Blake was blowing things out of proportion. And of course, there were the conspiracy theorists who thought this whole thing was just a giant PR stunt to get more buzz around the movie. Because let's be real, Hollywood isn't exactly above staging a little drama to keep people talking. And here's where it gets really wild. Just when you thought this drama couldn't get any crazier, Ryan Reynolds' name gets dragged into the mix. Because of course, it does. So rumors start swirling that Ryan was allegedly using his influence not just in Hollywood, but with his beloved football club, Wrexham AFC, which he co-owns. Apparently, there were some serious accusations about Ryan misusing club communication channels to push the narrative in Blake's favor. Let that sink in for a minute. We're talking about football club emails being used to manage Hollywood drama. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. But wait, it gets worse. The Wrexham board reportedly found out about it and they were not happy. According to insiders, they performed a professional removal of Ryan that was so swift and surgical, it would make a hitman proud. They put out this super diplomatic statement, but if you read between the lines, it was clear. Ryan was being professionally executed. The internet, yeah, they lost their minds over this. I mean, Ryan Reynolds losing his Wrexham co-ownership because of a Hollywood movie drama, it's giving PR nightmare on a silver platter. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Blake was in the right for standing her ground, or was she being a little too strategic?
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Was she genuinely fighting for the integrity of the film, or was this all just a masterclass in Hollywood power plays? Let's be real. Navigating Tinseltown isn't just about talent. It's about who you know, how you play the game, and how well you can craft your own narrative. And if anyone knows how to do that, it's Blake Lively. But let's flip the script for a second. Was Justin just trying to make the best movie possible and Blake was making his life a living nightmare? I mean, we've all had that one coworker who thinks they know everything and insists on taking control even when they're not the director, right? Was Blake that coworker? Or was Justin too much of a perfectionist, nitpicking the film down to the last frame? Because there's a fine line between being detail-oriented and being unbearable. And from what we're hearing, it sounds like Justin might have crossed it. And y'all, Ryan Reynolds getting caught in the crossfire? Now that is a plot twist no one saw coming. How did we go from a Hollywood movie set dispute to Ryan allegedly being excommunicated from his own football club? This man was just trying to post his usual dad jokes on Twitter, and next thing you know, he's in the middle of a full-blown reputation crisis. Was he just being a supportive husband? Or was he really pulling strings behind the scenes to help Blake win this battle? If so, was that loyalty or a major miscalculation? But here's the real kicker. Do y'all think this entire thing was orchestrated for publicity? Because let's not forget, Hollywood loves drama, and nothing gets people talking like messy behind-the-scenes chaos. If we're being honest, It Ends With Us wasn't exactly getting the best reactions when the first production photos dropped. Fans were skeptical, and there was already talk about whether Blake was too old for the role.
I think most actors' dream is to be able to do a period piece film, but I got to do an every period piece film because this dates back to 1908 till now. So to explore the different decades, the fashion, the hair and makeup, and just how women were treated in each of those different eras.
So could all of this have been one big PR distraction? A way to shift the focus from the negative press and turn this into the must-see movie of the year? I mean, let's be real. This wouldn't be the first time Hollywood pulls some next-level chess moves to get people invested in a project. And considering how this has taken over social media, they might have just pulled off the biggest viral marketing campaign of 2024. Coincidence or calculated PR genius? Either way, I need to hear your thoughts on this one. Are you Team Blake, Team Justin, Team Ryan just wants to mind his own business? Or are you Team Hollywood is one giant PR machine and we're all just pawns in their game? Drop your hottest takes in the comments below, because trust me, this conversation is far from over. And while you're here, smash that like button because your girl gotta get her nails done.